Good afternoon. We'll now hear from the NATO Secretary General and the President of Finland. Secretary General.
Thank you so much. President Stubb, dear Alex, it's great to welcome you here at NATO headquarters. And you are the first Allied leader I have the honor to welcome here as NATO Secretary General. It's further proof of Finland's seamless integration into the NATO family. Since Finland became a NATO ally 18 months ago, the alliance has become stronger and Finland has become safer. Finland has highly capable military forces and cutting-edge capabilities. You are investing more than 2% of GDP in defense. I welcome that you will host a new NATO battle group to deter any aggression, and a new headquarters to lead NATO land operations in the region. All these efforts enhance our defenses along the eastern flank and in the high north. Today we discussed further strengthening our deterrence and defense. Over the past decade, NATO has carried out the biggest reinforcement of our collective defense in a generation, with more forces and at higher readiness. We both agree that NATO must go further and faster. We need more, better equipped forces, a more robust transatlantic defense industry, increased defense production capacity, greater investment in innovation, and secure supply chains. Allies are already stepping up with plans to acquire thousands of air defense and artillery systems, many hundreds of modern aircraft, mostly fifth-generation F-35s, as well as substantial high-end capabilities. But to do more, we must spend more. To reach our capability targets, 2% clearly will not be enough. We also addressed Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, where I made my first ever visit as Secretary General just last week. NATO must and will do more to help Ukraine. Russia continues to carry out massive strikes against Ukraine's critical energy infrastructure. Ukraine could be facing its toughest winter since the full-scale invasion began. I pay tribute to the resilience and the bravery of the Ukrainian people and their armed forces. NATO allies are providing almost all military support to Ukraine. This is vital for Ukraine's stability and ability to stay in the fight. And I will be at Ramstein, together with Alex Stubb, at the table at Ukraine Defence Contact Group to press for more aid. I welcome Finland's continuous support to Ukraine. You have delivered a significant amount of support, over 2 billion euros in military aid. What Finland is doing helps save lives. And the more military support we give, the faster this war will end. President Stubb and I also discussed Russia's ongoing campaign of malign activities on Allied territory. And in that regard, I welcome the European Union's new sanctions regime targeting hybrid threats. In an unpredictable world, we stand together to defend our shared values and democratic systems. Dear Alex, thank you for your steadfast commitment to our transatlantic alliance, and I look forward to continuing to work together. Again, thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. I'll just put forward very briefly, I think, 5 points. The first one is congratulations to you. I don't think NATO could have wished for a better Secretary General. It's very rare that you have a person at the helm of the alliance who spent 14 years as a Prime Minister in the alliance. It's also very rare that you have someone who knows both the EU and the alliance so well. You have our full support in promoting our security and our common values. And it's nice in many ways also for me personally, because of course you and I have known each other since 2010 in one form or another in different types of positions. So it gives us a lot of comfort that you are at the helm of the organization. Of course, historic in the sense that I'm the first head of state to visit you here at the headquarters. So good luck with everything that you do. And at the same time, I of course want to thank Jens Stoltenberg for the instrumental role that he had in helping Finland become a member of the alliance in the past few years. So good luck in stepping into his shoes, and I'm sure it's all going to work out extremely well. My second point is on the alliance's deterrence and defense. I firmly believe that we're now witnessing the creation of NATO 3.0. We are back to the original role of NATO as a deterrence and a strong military alliance with a threat coming from the East, mainly from Russia. We have a very common understanding inside the alliance about our security challenges, and I think it's extremely important now that we work on both deterrence and defense that we do it together, and that is based on solidarity and focus of the operations, the structures, and the alliance in large. My third point is about Finland's NATO integration. I could not, as president, have wished for a better integration. I take little credit for it. I give credit to those who negotiated us into the alliance, and my predecessor and government who worked a lot in integrating us into the system. And for me, it has culminated in three things, where the first one is that we will be under Norfolk together with obviously the United States and our Nordic allies. Secondly, that we will be establishing a land component in the form of MCLCC, which of course is quite natural. If the alliance doubles its border with Russia, the land component needs to come from a country which has given military service to about 900,000 men and women and has reserves of 280,000 with a very strong land component. And the third element in the package is, of course, FLF, or the Forward Land Forces, which we are in the process of implementing with Sweden as a host nation. We might be a new member in the alliance, but because of the strength of our military, I would argue that we will be a security provider, not a security consumer. And of course, we've seen the alliance countries very willing to help us out and be involved in Finland's defense as well, and training. My fourth point is on Ukraine. We will continue our steadfast support for Ukraine, also in its path towards NATO membership when the time is right. And I also argue that for us, it's about two things. One, about values. Ukraine should have the right to choose, the sovereign right to choose which organization it wants to belong to. And it's also about our security. If we allow Russia's war of aggression to continue and lead to land grabs or others, we are, I think, at the helm of breaking international law to an extent that we have not seen since World War II. I also look forward to the meeting in Ramstein on Saturday, which has been called together by President Biden, and we'll have President Zelensky there as well. My final and fifth point is to say that Russia continues to be the alliance's and Finland's most direct and significant threat all around Europe and beyond. And I also want to stress that Russia is right now conducting two types of war. One is a kinetic war in Ukraine, where there seems to be no limits to what it will do in violating international law and also killing innocent human beings. And of course, the other warfare that Russia is conducting is hybrid. And I think we need to prepare mentally for an increased activity in cyber, in mis or disinformation, so information wars, and also the potential of sabotage. And I think here it's very important that we as allies first find out the facts, then after that we attribute, and after that we have a common line of communication. But all in all, Mark, it's been really nice to be here on my first visit with you as Secretary General, and I certainly look forward to us cooperating together in the years to come.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you, President Stubb.